What's up guys, it's Matt. I'm here today with the driving force wheel and the Logitech driving force shifter. In my last video I introduced the shifter, I unboxed it and set it up. If you missed that video, I'll link that in the top right hand corner of the screen. Go ahead and watch that video. This video is going to focus on the gameplay and how the shifter and the clutch feel with the wheel. I'll switch you over to the Xbox screen right now.
So the first thing we're going to have to do is change the game settings. We're going to go over to assists and then down to shifting, change that to manual with clutch. This will enable you to use the clutch, and without doing this the clutch won't really do anything. So we're at Daytona International Speedway. I selected this course because it's got long straightaways so we can top out the car, but it also has the infield with some nice tight technical turns, and so we'll be able to see how the manual shifter works in both scenarios. We've got the RS4 again. If you didn't see my previous video, I raced this car at the Top Gear test track with the manual paddle shifting when I first got the wheel. So kind of a side-by-side comparison using the same car, now obviously using the clutch and shifter. So I've got the pedal camera as well as the wheel camera, and let's just launch this thing right off the bat. Okay, I'm gonna rev it up and drop the clutch. Alright, so immediately it feels pretty good. Coming into turn 1 at 105 miles an hour. Might have been a little too hot. That's a perfect turn right there. So my first impressions using the wheel, obviously I've been driving a manual car for the last 10 years. So I have the muscle memory to know how to shift, use the clutch, release the accelerator, blah blah blah. If you've never driven a manual car, this is going to be very challenging for you. But to me it feels very natural, and I actually really like this. It seems really realistic, and you know, that's one thing that I love about driving a manual car, is throwing it through the gears. And you know, it really does feel, it feels like I'm shifting with an extremely short shifter. So here I'm gonna go without the clutch and see what happens. Alright, so you see it stutters a little bit when you force it into gear without the clutch, but I'd say if that happens to you a lot, you probably can mess around with the dead zones on the clutch pedal and you could probably resolve that issue. But so far, so good. I like it. I think the quality of the construction of both this wheel and the shifter feels good. I am using a Turtle Beach headset, so I can't really hear the noises that the shifter and the pedals are making, but they're not overpowering to the point where I can hear them through the headset. So far so good. Down to the fourth, third, hit the e-brake, nice skid. Okay, so I'm gonna switch us over to the Ferrari Laferrari, and I'm using this car because one, I used it in that last gameplay video so we can get a direct comparison, but two, because I think it's gonna be possibly challenging to shift with the manual shifter with this car, just because the car is a beast, and it's so light and has so much power that it's really hard to keep the back end straight. It wants to come out on you a lot, especially at low speeds. When the mechanical grip is all you're getting, you're not getting any of the downforce from the aero, basically the diffuser or that back lip. So when I've driven this with the paddle shifting, I'm using both hands and I'm doing all I can to wrestle this thing around turns and whatnot. So it might be difficult to have only one hand on the steering wheel, plus the fact that this thing goes through the revs so quickly. You know, I don't know. Slowly let off the clutch, try to keep it from spinning the wheels. Alright, second gear, we spun the wheels quite a bit. It's a botch shift. Alright, so it's not as bad as I was expecting. I figured it was going to be boom, boom, boom through the gears, and basically my hand would be on the shifter the entire time. Third to fourth, fourth to fifth, fourth. Okay, that was way too low. Got a little clutch kick right there. And around in third. I don't know, it feels pretty cool. It's not really realistic because this car in real life has paddle shifting and automatic double clutch gearbox. It's not going to have the actual shift knob, so you know, it's a different experience. It's pretty fun. I still like driving a manual car over paddle shifters, but this is definitely not going to help your lap times. Oh, and let's see. This is a 6-speed gearbox, or 7-speed gearbox, and a 6-speed shifter. So you have to use the paddle shifter to get to 7th, and then again to get back to 6th. So 6th, 5th, 4th. I'm gonna say that probably after this I'll never use the shifter for the LaFerrari or any car that has 7 gears or more. Give it a little burnout here. This is the thing that I like about the shifter, is that when you're at low speeds and you're just cruising around, it feels more like a regular car. It's not like you're just stopped and then you hit the gas and you go. You have to actually start the car by slowly letting off the clutch, applying the gas. Same thing here in the reverse gear. Gotta look behind you, make sure you don't hit anything or run into the grass. Try to do the J-turn. Nope, not even close. Alright, let's top this thing off one more time. And then switch to the same track. I'll put some cars out on the track to race. But I'm gonna race it with the paddle shifter, so you have a side-by-side comparison of me racing with this car with the paddle shifting and with the manual shifter. So we'll switch over to that as soon as I crash into this barrier up here. Coming around, up. Yep. All right. So let's get into it. I'm gonna switch over, and we can start this race. So we got the LaFerrari with a pack of random cars, seemingly. I'm gonna try to start this in second so I don't have an excessive wheel spin. Okay, and then getting a little push from something. Let's see what that was. A black car. Ooh, Bugatti. Bugatti gave me a little push. So this thing has ridiculous torque and ridiculous acceleration. So let's get around that Bugatti on the outside here. We got the P1. Just blowing by the P1, even with a little bit of a snafu there. Coming around this in 5th. I don't know if you remember, but when I was just driving. Oh shh. All right, we're good. We're good. Keeping second. All right. But like I said, what I was saying is, when I was just racing with the manual shifter, I shifted all the way down to 3rd to get around that turn 2 turns ago, now 3 turns ago. So I mean, obviously my driving is not exceptional in either one of these scenarios, with the shift manual shifter and clutch, or with the paddle shifters. But it should give you a good comparison of how the two driving styles differ. That's another thing about having the paddle shifting, is when you're under really heavy braking and you're trying to really downshift quickly, you just boom, 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 you get to your gear that you want. With the manual shifter, I mean, you could technically just skip from 6th to 3rd or whatever if you wanted to. But if you want to go sequentially down, it's going to be a lot more difficult to do it quickly than it is with the paddle shifters. Let's go. 203, 204. So I'm just gonna shut up and try to pull away from this guy. Gotta say that watching that active aerodynamics in the back with the rear wing and then the diffusers on the bottom, pretty cool. Some space age stuff. Coming in a little hot there. Alright guys, if you like this video, hit that like button, and if you'd like more content, subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, where I regularly post automotive related content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.